Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Chadwick Robinson, director here with TLC, part of the elite family here with the Skin Team Movement, and I am so excited to talk to you today about the binary compensation plan. I really wanted to break this down for team members or anyone that's a part of TLC, or maybe you're a guest looking in and want a snapshot of our binary compensation plan to see how we get paid. The binary compensation plan is the third way we actually get paid, and what it is it is our residual income. Okay, residual income. This means you can make money while you're sleeping. Now I wanted to give you a quick video to explain the binary compensation plan so you can actually get an idea of how this works and why it's one of the most powerful ways to get paid with our compensation plan. It's one of the most powerful and most effective ways of building your business in network marketing. So if you have a hybrid binary compensation plan attached to your company, is probably very, very strong. But if you don't, you might want to look at what we have here with TLC. But let's talk a little bit about the binary. What I really love about the hybrid binary is it's very, very simple. You build two teams, okay? You build the left team and the right team. So let me kind of show you how this works. Let's say this is you, okay? And you're happy. You just joined the business. It's very, very simple. What's going to happen is that you're going to build two teams. You're going to build a left team, and you're going to build a right team, okay? RT stands for right team, LT stands for left team. And it's very, very simple. What I love about the binary is, as you bring on members, every member has to go underneath whoever has already put themselves in a position. So let's say, for instance, you sponsor person number 1, and you sponsor person number 2. Well, this is the first step in the binary of what you want to do. See, when you do this, you are now considered binary qualified. Okay? So the first thing in the binary that you want to do is sponsor your first person and your second person, okay? So you put one on your left, personally sponsored, one on your right, personally sponsored. Now, every single month, you, this person, and this person must run an order of what we call 40 PV, means personal volume. That could be some tea, it could be some NutriBurst, it can be some coffee, it can be any one of the products. Long as it comes with 40 PV, every single month, you want this to stay active and qualified, okay? This is how you become binary qualified. Every single month, you must have at least one person on the left, one person on the right running a 40 PV order, and yourself. And when that happens, you're binary qualified. Now, let me tell you the powerful thing about this, okay? So let's say you sponsor person number 1, person number 2. Now, let's say you're talking and you're sharing, and now you're about to sponsor your third person. Well, guess what? Your third person has to go either under person number 1 or person number 2. It doesn't come out to a side leg or a third leg. You don't build wide. You build in depth. So guess what? You help your team members, right? So now you're going to sponsor person number 3, right? Isn't that powerful? Now watch this. Because person number 1 came in first, right? And you had to place person number 3 either under 1 or 2. Guess what? Person number 1 is now over person number 3. So you just added person number 3 into person's number 1 network. Person number 1 hasn't done anything yet, but yes, they have a new member. So if this person goes out and builds a huge organization, guess what? Person number 1 is going to benefit from all of the work that person number 3 does. So the key thing about the hybrid binary is timing and positioning, okay? So let's say, for instance, now you're on fire. You go out and you sponsor person number 4. Guess what? You say, I'm going to put person number 4 on my second leg to balance it out. Guess what? Person number 2 is very excited. They haven't did any work yet, right? They haven't signed anyone up, but yet they have person number 4 in the business, right? And this cycle continues to happen. Now watch this. Let's say, for instance, let me do this in color coordinate. So let's say, for instance, now person number 1, right? Well, before I show you this, let me give you something here. So let's say you have your left team and your right team. Now, everyone that's on your left team is considered on the left power leg. You share a left leg with them. Okay? Everyone that's on your right, you share a right leg with them. So what happens is the people on the left, their left leg is considered the power leg. The people on the right, their power leg is considered the right leg. So let me show you in this example what happens. Let's say, for instance, person number 1, now all of a sudden, they're excited. And now they're about to get their first sign up. What happens is their person, because number 3 is already under person number 1, their very first person falls under the power line right here. So now person number 1 has sponsored their very first person and it fell onto the power leg. Right? Now remember, person number 1 has to do what you did, which is go get at least 2 people to become binary qualified. So this is what happens when they go and get their second person. The second person starts their right leg right here. Boom. Now, person number 1 is binary qualified. But guess what? Person number 1 helped person number 3, right? Because person number 1 dropped person number 5 on the power leg. Now, let me give you an example over here. Same thing. Let's say now person number 2 is excited. They go get their first person. It falls onto the power leg, right? Boom. And let's say they get excited. Now they have to go become binary qualified. This is what happens. Boom. They start their second leg, right? But person number 2 helped person number 4 because it dropped number 7 under number 4, right? Now, just imagine this cycle, right? So let me color coordinate this, okay? So what happened was person number 1 dropped person number 5 here. Person number 2 dropped person number 7 here, right? But watch this, guys. Let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, person number 3 now. They're excited. They have a new person in their organization. They have no idea where it came from. Guess what? They go get their first person, and guess what happens? Their first person is going to drop right here on the power leg. You see that? Boom. And then when they go get their second person to become binary qualified, it falls right here. Right? Their new leg of business. And then the same thing for person number 4. Person number 4 goes and gets his first person. Guess what? Boom. Falls under the power leg, right? And then when they go get their second person to be binary qualified, it falls right here. Boom. On their second leg of business. Right? So it's very, very powerful. As you can see, as this concept continues to happen, you start to build what you call a power leg. So let's say person number 5 now is excited. Now they go do the same thing. Guess what? Their first person falls onto the power leg, which is right here. Right? Boom. And when they go get their second person to become binary qualified, this is what happens. Right? Boom. And the same thing with person number 7, right? Person number 7 goes and get their first person. It falls onto the power line. Boom. And when they go get their second person to become binary qualified, it falls right into this space right here. Sorry, I believe this is 15. Person number 15 in your network. This is person number 16. Boom. So just imagine this cycle continuing to happen, right? This is so powerful, guys. The people on your left are all helping each other. Anyone that you put, let's say, for instance, now this happens, and now all of a sudden you have another sign up. Now you have to decide, do I put them on the left or do I put them on the right? Right? Let's say, oh, you say, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put another person in the system on the left. Guess what? That person does this. It falls right down here at the power leg. Boom. You see that? Boom. If you sponsor another person on the left, guess what happens? It's going to fall right on down here. On the power line, on the power leg. And this cycle continues to happen over and over again, which means everyone is helping everyone. We believe that it's one team, one dream, and I really love the binary because everyone is helping each other. And what happens is you build this power leg. Your right team has a right power leg. Your left team has a left power leg. And what happens is now that they have a power leg, now they can start focusing on their opposite leg. So one can now start focusing on their inside leg. 3 can focus on their inside leg, right? And this cycle continues to happen. So the binary compensation plan is one of the most, powerful compensation plans I've ever seen. So make sure you take note of that, right? I really want to kind of talk to you a little bit. Okay, I want to break down this PV qualification, okay? Now, the binary is the third way we get paid. Now, you only get paid when you're binary qualified, okay? which is the example I just gave you, but I'm going to go a little bit into detail on this so you guys can really see what I'm saying, right? You sponsored your first and your second person. You are binary qualified. Let's say you did that this month, okay? You came in the business. Let's say the first week you sponsored your first person. The second week you sponsored another person. Well, for a month, you're going to be considered binary qualified. Now, after the 30 days expire of this person, and you, whatever your entry date is, you know, everyone is required to be on what we call an auto ship. An auto ship is a monthly, you know, fee for a certain amount of products to keep you qualified to receive commission checks off of your team. Okay? So when you're building a team, what they're going to do is they're going to pay you anywhere from, let me put it over here, anywhere from 10 to 25% on the lesser team on the binary. Let me give you an example. Okay? But you must stay binary qualified, which means every single month you must have at least one personally sponsored person on the left, one personally sponsored on the right, and yourself must run 40 PV, personal volume, to be binary qualified, okay? Very, very important. So the key to this is to not just stop here, okay? You don't only want one person on the left and one on the right, because what if this person doesn't order for the month? What if this person's, I'll put it in red, right? Well, let's say you run your order of 40 PV. Let's say you run your order, right? Check for the month. Let's say this person runs their order for the month. But let's say this person, for some reason, her credit card did not go through. Well, guess what, guys? You are no longer binary qualified, which means if you build a huge organization, let's say this team went out and built a huge organization, right? Let's say this team built a huge organization, but you only sponsor one on the left and one on the right. But your person on the left did not run an order for the month. Well, you're not binary qualified anymore, which means you can't get 10 to 25% of commissions, no matter how much volume is being generated, because you're not binary qualified. So how do you fix that issue, ladies and gentlemen? And I'm trying to make these videos as short as possible, but these are trainings, guys. So, you know, you have to work with the time frame. But how do you fix that issue? This is how you fix the issue, guys. You sponsor more people personally on both sides. You keep doing this, guys. Right? I can tell you our magic formula that I've seen in network marketing that works the best is called the 20-20. Sponsor 20 on the left, 20 on the right. That's going to give you cushion, because guess what? If this person does not place an order for the month, guess what? This person placed an order. But guess what? If the very next month, right, let's say this person, you know, they placed an order for a month or two, and 3 months later, now they're ready to quit the business, right? Because people quit on them their dreams, right? And let's say, for instance, you know, let's say this person quit the business, right? Maybe they had some financial problems, something went wrong, they quit the business. But you sponsored these other people. Well, guess what? You just had another, this person is still running orders every month. So you have cushion. So what you want to do is continue to sponsor left to the right, okay? You want to do that. It's very, very important to be binary qualified. Now, when you're binary qualified, what happens is every single week, you're going to get paid. The binary compensation plan is weekly. So let me show you how that works. Okay, this is you. You sponsor your first 2 people, okay? And what you do is you tell them to do the same. You help them become binary qualified, right? And this cycle continues, right? People are becoming binary qualified, which is building 2 legs of business for you, right? This is it is happening, right? You see your organization starting to grow, right? Let me draw a line in the middle so you guys can really see what I'm doing here, right? You see you have 2 teams, right? You have your left team and you have your right team. Now, you're going to get paid 10 to 25% based on the lesser team's volume. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for instance, this week, your left team does 10,000. Let's say your right team does 20,000. Well, 10,000 is less than 20,000. So let's just use the 10% for example, okay? Let's say you're just an associate. You came in, you haven't advanced through the ranks. When you advance through the ranks, that's how you increase from 10% to 25. But let's say you're just an associate. You just came in, you're making 10%. Well, you're going to get paid 10% of the lesser team's volume. So this week you had 10,000 in volume over here, which is the lesser team's volume. So they're going to pay you 10% of 10,000, which is what? $1,000 for the week. Right? And what they're going to do is take this 10,000 and subtract it from the power leg, from your strongest leg, right? Which gives you a 10,000 balance. Okay? And this balance right here is what we call, and I want you to take a note of this, very, very important. Okay? This volume is called carry over. Carryover. So this 10,000 balance carries over for the next week that can be used for your next rank advancement. Okay, it's like storing volume that you can actually cash in on. So what happens is they paid you 10% of the 10,000, so this actually washes out for the week. Okay, because they paid you 10%. So you start the next week over at 0 and 0, but you have 10,000 on the right in carryover. So you're not really starting the week over with 0 on the right because you have 10,000 in carryover. Okay? So let me explain to you a little bit more in detail how that works, okay? Because the carryover is very important, guys. Okay? Carryover is very, very important, okay? So your carryover is going to continue to carry over, which helps you advance through the ranks. But this is the basics of your binary compensation plan, okay? This is the basics. Now, I will do another training specifically for the carryover so I can separate things to keep you focused. But the binary compensation plan is very, very simple, okay? You want to advance through the ranks, okay? So you can increase your commissions, your percentages that you make on the binary. The binary is weekly. It's very, very powerful. Build 2 teams, and the weekly production, you're going to get paid 10 to 25% on that volume as long as you remain binary qualified. The secret to this business is sponsoring 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and continuing to do that and help your team do that. And as you do that, you'll start to see your residual income increase. So I hope that this video training was great for you. I enjoyed my time. And like I said, we won't see you at the top. We'll see you over the top because you deserve to win. Part 2 is coming up, guys, where we're going to talk about carryover. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not a part of the team website and you're a part of the organization, make sure you get yourself locked in on that. But I'm excited, and we'll talk to you soon.